A billionaire was a sex addict who had inappropriate relations with girls under the age of 18, and it is stated that he molested over 1,000 individuals in his lifetime. Due to his tendencies, he even bought his own island, which has been referred to by various names such as Sex Island, Pedophile Island, Epstein Island, James Island, located in the United States Virgin Islands. Jeffrey Epstein owned 2 private jets, one of which was famously known as the Lolita Express. This was a 200-seat aircraft that he hired to transport his friends and the girls. The word transport is used here to indicate that he traveled worldwide with these girls. He is visiting cities like New York, Paris, and New Mexico with those girls. He is a billionaire, a mysterious man who has no shortage of money or fear of the government, as many of the wealthiest politicians are his friends or his teammates. Some of these politicians are Bill Gates, Donald Trump, among others. Perhaps Jeffrey Epstein was one of the wealthiest and most powerful pedophiles. His targets tended to be girls under the age of 18, typically ranging from 12 to 16 years old. At times, Jeffrey Epstein was noted for saying, "The younger, the better." The story begins when Jeffrey Epstein was born on 20 January 1953 in New York City. He pursued studies in mathematics and physics, but never obtained a degree. In 1970, he started his professional life by teaching at the Dalton School. His subjects were calculus and physics. However, his behavior towards students was poor. One day, he made a girl uncomfortable and she complained to the school department. As a result, Jeffrey Epstein was suspended due to poor performance. Now, one may wonder how an ordinary teacher becomes a billionaire. It turns out that the school where Epstein was teaching was filled with wealthy students. Epstein was the personal tutor of one of the richest kids in over the school. The child's father was very successful and powerful, awarding Epstein a job as a junior assistant in his firm. This firm sought individuals like Epstein who had no money, but they possessed the passion and drive to become wealthy, and then in 1980, Epstein was a senior and had many clients. In 1981, he founded his own company called J. Epstein & Company. This is also a wealth firm, but slightly different because members of this firm must have a minimum of $1 billion in assets. And so, this is the glamorous story of his wealth. Now we know about his dark life story. Jeffery is obsessed with girls under the age of 18. He targets those who are homeless and in need of money. This behavior has persisted for about 20 to 25 years, and yet he has never been punished. Many people have complained to authorities, but no action has been taken. Everyone struggled against him has failed. Like Jeffrey contacted a painter named Maria, whom he admires for her work. Ghislaine Maxwell, who was Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend, played a significant role in his notorious lifestyle. Ghislaine Maxwell would go to the park with Maria and give her number to underage girls, whom she later abused at Epstein's home. Ghislaine Maxwell is lying to people, saying that Jeffrey Epstein managed the Victoria's Secret clothing brand and that he needs models. Maria's sister, Annie, also visited Epstein's residence, but at the time, Maria was unaware of the illicit activities being carried out by Epstein and Maxwell. One day, Maria became suspicious because she recognized the girls she met in the park at Jeffrey's house. Ghislaine Maxwell invited Maria to Jeffrey's home one day, and they both molested Maria. This led Maria to fear what could happen to her sister. Upon expressing her fears, Maria's sister revealed she was also being taken advantage of. Distraught, Maria approached the FIA to report the incidents, but received no response. When Ghislaine Maxwell discovered the accusation, she threatened Maria, despite which no action was taken by the FIA. Frustrated and without resolution, Maria finally walked away from the situation, even though Jeffrey Epstein's misconduct continued until 2005. In 2005, the parents of a 14-year-old girl lodged a complaint against Jeffrey Epstein, prompting a police raid on his Florida mansion. That day, police recorded statements from 40 girls present in the mansion, all aged between 14 to 16 years old. The girls' stories were similar. They were all promised payment for massages. However, Jeffrey lied to these girls and molested them up to 3 times a day. Police found evidence against Jeffrey Epstein. However, his friends are so powerful that those in politics and other powerful men are blaming the police. Jeffrey, being one of the richest men, hired a team of lawyers and criticized the victim. He admitted to a minor crime, which was soliciting a minor for for prostitution, but in reality, he was a major child molestation offender. Every influential person defends Jeffrey by claiming that the child molestation victims were prostitutes. But authorities possess significant evidence against Jeffrey Epstein, which is why they are taking action against him. When an average person commits a crime of this nature, they are typically sentenced to a lifetime in prison. However, in Epstein's 2008 case, he was only sentenced to 18 months in jail. But the Jeffrey's punishment cannot be truly perceived as punitive since he was not detained in a conventional prison. Instead, he resided in Palm Beach County Prison, where he was allowed to leave for 12 hours daily, 6 days a week, to manage his business affairs. Moreover, he had access to all required amenities within the prison. He visited his office located in West Palm Beach, which is also the place where he molested 2 other girls. Consequently, it seems that justice for the victims will never be served. Jeffrey's friends support him, and he is expected to be out of jail in just 13 months. But this isn't a typical jail term. Ghislaine Maxwell is one of Epstein's most ardent supporters. Victims have consistently stated that Ghislaine Maxwell provided girls to Epstein. However, no one took notice until 2018. At that point, as victims continued to declare Epstein a criminal, authorities reopened the case. Finally, on 16 July 2019, New York sentenced Jeffrey Epstein to a lifetime in prison. Epstein applied for bail again from prison and promised to give so much to various causes, but his request was denied and his life sentence was upheld. Tragically, 1 month into his sentence, on 10 August 2019, Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide. For more information, like and subscribe.